So I'm gonna show you a scenery. This is one of the most beautiful boulevards in Iran. So there are two sides to this boulevard. I don't know if you can see it. Okay guys, can you see the boulevard? I think I have a bit of a delay. Okay, so Sarah says if you lose me, go out of the live and come back again, and the live will work. Okay, yes, it's a beautiful, it's not a park, you know, it's a boulevard. So is my picture clear enough for you to see? If it is, that's really fantastic, because it seems that I found a spot that the internet is working. Okay, so behind me it's a boulevard. If you see cars, okay, great, cars are passing and people are walking, and you know they are chatting, and you know the life goes on. I'm gonna go down. These are the stairs. Okay, so this is called Taq-e Bostan Boulevard. This is the place that many people come to walk, to, you know, to chill, to eat maybe. So I parked my car on the other side, and as you see, people are living their lives. Okay, so let me find the place to sit. And guys, as you see, my city is a green city. It's not a hot city, it's a cold city. So let me find a place to sit. So guys, do you have any questions, or I should find the old questions and answer them? Come on, Sarah, we were talking. Ask something. Okay. I'm sitting on the grass. You know, the reason that I came outside and I haven't stayed. Yes, of course you can ask, you know. I hope YouTube doesn't ban me, but I'm trying to be, you know, a bit conservative and do not answer everything. You can ask, but I'm not, you know, I don't promise to give you the answer. Okay, so the reason that I'm outside is because I definitely can stay in home or our studio and with a better connection and answer all your questions. But I come outside because I don't just want to talk about you know, the questions that you ask. I really want to show you the reality. So if you have questions, if you ask me something, I'm gonna try to show it to you, not just talk about it. But Sarah, if you have questions, ask me. Let's talk, because you know. And one more thing is that because I save the lives, you know, lots of people watch it offline, and offline is not right, but they watch it when it's not live. You know, it's saved. Okay, yes. Okay, go on. Tell me. Ask me whatever you want. Let's see if we can, manage to avoid using trigger words. Okay, great question. The question is, how is it for women outside in Iran? You know nothing about these things. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna walk. I hope I don't lose the connection. Okay, the question is, how is it for women? First of all, I cannot answer this question really good because I'm a man. But when you ask it, most people mean if every, for example, woman in Iran has, is covered up, which is not true. We have mandatory hijab in Iran. It's a rule. But do people really, obey the law? Not really. And if you do not obey the law, what happens to you? Nothing. I'm talking about the hijab situation, okay? So right now, I'm gonna flip the camera and you see in front of me, two girls are sitting. I'm not gonna show their face, but you can see for yourself, okay? So you can see the situation about, for example, hijab and how people are covering up, and you can look behind me, but from behind, for example, she was not fully covered her hair, so nothing happens to her. And if I go further, because here is not that crowded, I can show you that there are some girls that do not cover up at all, but again, nothing happens to them. And I believe the mandatory hijab is a good rule, but the way to implement it is something that we can discuss. And my main problem, not talking about these things, especially in TikTok, are the guidelines that these platforms have, because the guidelines are so restricted that and most people know that if I say anything, for example, that they don't want me to say, they will just ban my account. And that's something that happened to me many times. So if you become more specific, so tourists can go there without hijab as well. Yes, it is a really good rule. It's an Islamic state, not a Western liberal nude state. Yes. So Sarah, look, first of all, it's a rule. So you must obey the rule in any country that you are living or you are going to. Tourists can do that, but it's always better to obey the rule. And also, lots of people demand the government, if there's a rule, why don't you, do something that people obey it, not just by force. For example, if you are not, obeying the traffic rules in any country, you will get tickets. So it's the same here. They can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera again. So if you see, they her hair up, nothing, and nothing happens to her. I can go, I can go and show you all the time these things. So yes, that's a classic. Women have no right. In Islam, women have more rights than anywhere. So if you travel there, you should respect. So yes, you should respect the law in any country. It doesn't matter where you go. If you don't want to obey the law, you can simply not go there. And remember, Iran is a really family-centered and cultural country. So for people, they really care about family. And if you do some things that damages the culture or the family, people will not accept. although you know, situation and culture is changing day by day. Yes, that's so I showed you something about that. Okay, so if you have any questions, again, tell me, because I will be live 40 more minutes, no matter what happens. If I'm alone in the live or if there are 10,000 people here. So if you have any question, ask me, because I'm live in the middle of the street in Iran. I can show you whatever you want. Okay, tell me, what do you know, what do you want to know about Iran? And you know, my country is and especially my city, is a really beautiful city. You can see, and I'm using a smartphone, you know. I'm not using any fancy cameras and fancy equipment. And we are in the middle of the summer, and you see everywhere is green. Okay. Nazam Maludi asks if do you apply the Sharia law over there or different laws? Okay, yes. I'm pretty sure that we have Sharia law in Iran, which is a really good thing. So imagine this, because Sharia law is based on Islam. For example, in Iran, we don't have any places that legally sell alcohol. So because one more important culture we almost don't have a country has its content. So is it correct that some television outlets are from Z in Iran? I have seen an Al Jazeera post that some are from Z to indoctrinate Iran from the inside. Yes, of course. You know that. First of all, if someone is working for the Z in any country, I'm gonna show you the other side. People are walking. If they work for the Z, they are dressing and they are acting in a way that, for example, they are Muslims and they care about the country. So, and of course, the Z and the US and the other countries, they are doing the things to destroy Iran in any shape or form. So, of course, they can hire people and women can drive in Iran. I wanted to show you. So they hire different people from different places, even inside Iran, to do their job. And you know, the political situation in Iran is not that simple. In a way that we think, for example, everybody thinks the same way. And look at this element. So everybody does not think the same way in Iran. Iran is really diverse, different races, different ethnicities, different religions. So everybody thinks in a different way. You cannot expect that there's only one voice coming out of everybody's mouth. So because of this diversity, people have different opinions. And because of that, there are different political parties. So it never is that simple. The politics is not that simple in any country, Iran, including Iran. So I think many people should understand about the different political parties and different opinions in Iran, because if you don't know about that, whatever you think about Iran would be wrong. So that's a big problem. Okay, the sun is not set yet. Yes, I think the sun would set in about, when I finish the live, it's Maghrib. I think it's 8. Okay, so Helon, SKSLS, yes, said that, are you a Kurd? Yes, I'm Kurd. And the people that you see here, they are all Kurds. So this is, Kermanshah is a Kurd province. So most people are Kurds, including me. So if you are Kurd, I can talk a bit of Kurdish with you because I speak Kalhori Kurdish. So there are different dialects and different accents of Kurdish. Okay, so can you tell me about the protest? I think I can. Let's see if I get banned or not. So you see the protest, I'm gonna change, the camera. The protest in Iran, the recent one, because we have lots of protests. The protest happened because of the economic situation at the beginning. So it went for 1 week. And even I supported that protest because of the economic situation. If you know about different parties in Iran, different political parties in Iran, you will understand that when you go to protest against the party in charge, it doesn't mean that you are against the government. It means you do not accept the way the political party in charge is governing the country. So when you go to protest, it means that you are against that, a specific policy, for example, or maybe as a whole, the whole political party. So yeah, from the beginning it was economic, because of the economic issues that we have. And when the protest got bigger, as you might know, Mike Pompeo and Reza Pahlavi, they came out and they said, yes, this is a political, protest against the whole Iranian government. And Mike Pompeo said that Mossad agents are among you. I hope it doesn't get me banned. And also, I think it was a Z account, an official Z account, that they told it, they said it officially. And then they tried to, tell the world that the protests are because of the, policies that Iran has, the Iranian government has, and they try to capture it for themselves. And the problem began when they, smuggled weapons and arms in Iran, and as they said, yeah, you go to the streets and kill everybody that you can. And Trump said that we are coming for help, and that caused something like a civil war. And that was really horrible because I'm living here, and there were shootings, and the militia from outside Iran were coming to Iran, and it was really bad. So the peaceful protest turned into a civil war. So that was really horrible. And when and it was an excuse for the US to attack Iran. The rest, almost the rest. So that created lots of tension, and they announced, although I'm not in favor of the party in charge, because there are multiple parties in Iran, and it's not that simple. So, okay, look. So there are different parties in Iran, and although I'm not in favor of the party in charge right now, because I voted for the other party, they did a wise move, which was announcing every protester, every person killed with their ID numbers. So there's a list that everybody can download, that the government, announced for everybody to see, which every single name for every person that got killed, is on the list. So the list includes 3,400 people, which is a high number, but it's definitely the 40,000 number that they are, telling everybody. So that's a lie. And why that was a wise move? Because when you announce every single person with their ID number, you challenge the other side to say, if you have a bigger list, even one person, tell us, because we have the whole list in front of you. So you can go announce anybody that has been killed but is not on the list, and you can, and nobody until, and my friends, nobody until now could even add. They say there are 40,000 people killed in those protests, okay? Why is that? They cannot add not even 1,000 names. So that was a lie, and they debunked the lie. But Western media didn't show that. So that's and that's normal. That's why you are watching me right now, because if you trusted them, you wouldn't watch me. Okay. I hope the connection gets better here. So yes. Yes, Sarah, go pray. Pray for us too. Okay. So I'm gonna answer another question and come back again. So Sarah says, oh, I understand now better. The demonstrate went for 1 week about the economic situation, not against the government as said by Western media outlets. Yes, of course. The problem, I really don't understand, and I didn't understood until one of my friends, Stephanie from US, she asked me a question, and I was trying to give him an answer, give her a good answer. So I tried to research in English sources. So when I did some research, I find out that almost all mainstream media, they do not have the right coverage for the issue that I was going to tell her. So that it was then when it hit me that you people in the West, you don't have a good access to the reality. I'm not saying that everything that I'm saying right now and I'm telling you is right. No, never. But you have, in order to have a fair perspective, you should hear everybody in the room. So of course I have a different perspective from lots of other people, and I bet you do not find people like me in the first place, because if it was so, my TikTok account wouldn't get 150,000 followers in 2 months. So, but right now I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to find out new ways to talk to people from different places in the world, because I'm a curious guy. I'm gonna find out really if the my mindset, my paradigms, the way I think, is it really true? Or I bet that I myself have lots of wrong paradigms in my mind. So these paradigms should be broken, because if we don't do that, we cannot talk to each other, and we cannot build relations worldwide. So using social media, now we are able to do that, and it's it's a really great opportunity. So Daria says that you are in which city in Iran? I'm in Kermanshah, my friend. And a question, are you Iranian? Because Daria is an Iranian name, but Daria is a girl's name in Iran. So, but you look like a boy. So if you are Iranian, tell me. Okay. So Sarah said, I'm confused. The 3,400 were killed because of civil war, chaos created by Zayo, that really is a strategic move to add ID numbers. Yes, so that's true. And you know, among the 3,400 okay. You know, among the 3,400 people that were killed in Iran, about to 900 were militias, which they had weapons and they were fighting. You know, in any other country, if somebody pulls a gun and points at the police, you know, the destiny of the man, you know, it's obvious. Nobody has the right to shoot the police. So if you do that, you know, it's obvious that you are not someone that has come for a peaceful protest. So Mohsen, I'm from London. I will maybe be in Iran, in Kermanshah by the end of this month. Would you like to link up and make video comparing differences? Definitely, my friend. I'm sorry. If you come to Iran, first of all, tell me where are you from? You know, you live in London, but where are you from? If you come to Kermanshah, I can, you know, show lots of things to you. But remember, I have a full-time job. I should work, so I'm not free all the time. But I will definitely do. I can plan some good things for you. For example, Kermanshah is a UNESCO's creative city of gastronomy. So food, you know, is a, if you want to eat in Kermanshah, it's one of the best cities in the world, and I can show you different places and we can eat together, and I bet you will experience things here that you cannot experience anywhere else. But tell me, where are you from? Oh, Darya, okay, you're Kurdish from Iraqi Kurdistan. Okay, Salam Darya Gang, Kak Darya. So, I have friends from Khanaqin and I have relatives in Kurdistan, Iraq too. So yeah, I was saying about, let me see. Okay, Nazim says, will you attend the morning of the late Supreme Leader? Unfortunately not, you know, I'd really love to go, but I cannot. You know, the predictions are that 20 million people would go there, and you know, if you think about that, it's really interesting because the amount of infrastructure and management needed to do something like that and have 20 million people at the same time in Tehran, it's absolutely amazing. You know, I don't know how they manage it, but I've been to those events, which I think the last one that I went, maybe near 5 million people were there. And guys, you cannot imagine how many is 5 million. You cannot imagine even how many. I don't know if the Azadi Stadium in Iran, you know, 100,000 people can go there at the same time. There are 100,000 seats in that stadium. I've been there. You know, that's lots of people. You should go and experience. But when you talk about 20 million, I don't know how they are handling it. So, and it shows the support that, you know, Iran's government have. And me, as a supporter, I hope this, you know, the things that I'm saying doesn't, you know, get my account banned. But me as a supporter, even I'm not going there. And I know millions of people are not able to go there. Yet 20 millions are the amount that people go there. Okay, so I cannot read the name, but he says that show please resting training center in Kermanshah. How much are there? So if you don't know, Kermanshah was the host of the Wrestling World Cup. I think it was 2014. Jordan Burroughs and lots of the whole US national team were in Kermanshah, and people in Kermanshah really love wrestling. Right now, around me, there are no, I'm gonna show you around. So there are no wrestling centers around me, but I'm gonna try to do it and show the wrestling centers maybe in the future. Okay, East London. So my friend, you're from London. Are you originally from Britain or England, or you're from other countries and you've traveled to England? And if you come here, I told you, I can, show you. Oh, come on. No. Are you at Park Muallim? My friend, it seems that you know Kermanshah, and I bet you are Iranian, okay? But no, I'm in Boulevard Tabustan Boulevard. So Daria says, in Kurdistan we love Iranian movie like Shahab Hosseini movie, so I learned some Persian words. That's great, my friend. So we have lots of great movies. We have Abbas Kiarostami, if you know him, which is praised by Martin Scorsese. So I'm talking a lot, so it's hard to keep on. I'm from Iran داداش مخلصیم برادر میدانستم ببین right now I'm talking Farsi and the accent, my accent is Kermanshahi. داداش بیایی ولی فایده نه، به ایرانی باشی دیگه بیای مزه نداره مگه قیافت به مثلا انگلیسیا بخوره، ولی بیا بهت قول میدم کرمانشاه رو اونجوری که باید و شاید نشناسی. حداقل تو غذا اینجوریه. Okay, so does the Iranian government offer a scholarship for international students to study in Iran? Yes, my friend, they do. In my city, for a scholarship, I think it's you are talking about a really competitive market and place to study, because lots of foreign students come to Iran. In my city, Kermanshah, we have I think 5,000 foreign students studying different majors in universities. Why is that? Because lots of them are from Iraq, okay? Because there are not many universities and not many majors in Iraq, and my city has lots of universities. They come here to study different majors. So I think you have a chance, but I think you must be a really great student to accept, to get the scholarship. But if you pay money, that's a different story. It would be really easy to come to Iran and study. So, Taq-e Bostan, we need to see the arch. My friend, you didn't told me your name. So tell me your name, because I want to call you. But I have a video posted on TikTok about that. If you are on TikTok, you can go and check it out. So no problem that you can recommend any restaurant or food places in Iran before I come with family. This time I will be traveling by myself. Okay. First of all, tell me your name, but send me a DM on TikTok. I'm gonna give you my number. If you came here, let's see what we can do. We can go and see some restaurants. But if you want traditional food in Kermanshah, you should definitely go to Daya restaurant, which I'm going to go tonight, which is a big restaurant and it has a Kermanshahi traditional food. So in Kermanshah, we have about, hi Sarah again. So in Kermanshah, we have about 450 recipes dedicated to Kermanshah, which it's really hard to experience those recipes in different, cities, not countries. And if you come to Kermanshah, you should try the food that is special in Kermanshah, not the food that is cooked everywhere in Iran or maybe in other countries. So Sarah, if you have hard questions, tell me. It's no problem, Dadash, I understand. You are a busy man. If any ice cream or restaurant you especially recommend, definitely send me a direct in TikTok. I'm gonna recommend every ice cream shop and every good restaurant, even good food to you. So guys, welcome the new ones that are coming and joining the live. Welcome to the live. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer, and I'm here to show you because I'm in middle of a beautiful boulevard in Kermanshah, Iran. So I'm waiting for your tough questions and maybe you have some easy questions because you know I'm here because I'm not just gonna talk. I came in the middle of a street because I wanted to show you. So if you have questions that I can show them to you, ask me. And I'm a bit far away from a great ice cream shop here, and my car is there, which is it's a considerable amount of walking. It's hard for me to go there, but maybe I would show you that too. So the food in Iran. So Sarah, let me tell you something about food in my province. So we have a special breed of sheep which is called Sanjabi. They mostly export it. So because of the weather in Kermanshah, we have a good place for sheep and cows and for livestock to eat. So when they eat well and the weather is great, they produce good milk and meat. So we have one of the greatest meats in the world in Kermanshah, and we have one of the greatest kebabs in the whole world, and we have a special kebab called dande kebab, which is ribs, sheep's ribs. I'm talking about it, and my mouth is full of if I keep talking about it, I cannot control it. Okay, so yeah, it's one of the greatest kebabs in the whole world, and it's special to Kermanshah. So my friend, which was from Kermanshah, if you come here, you should definitely try that. And because lots of our food, I'm not gonna say is organic, because organic is a term that has its own meaning, because there are fertilizers and some pesticides in them. But our food, for example, the watermelon post that I posted today on TikTok, our watermelon has seeds. So if you plant the seeds, you can have watermelons, you can grow watermelons, okay? But I think in the US and many other countries, the watermelon doesn't have seeds. So if your watermelon doesn't have seeds, that means that they are genetically modified. So it's really dangerous, because that's something that these big corporations do that prevent everybody to grow their own food. Okay, so it's something that we have, and the food in Iran, I think it's better than most places. That's why we have two creative cities of gastronomies in UNESCO's Creative Cities Network. So how safe is Iran? Pickpockets or severe crime activity? I don't think, but I want to ask. Okay, so every country has its places that are not safe, but because in Iran, especially in not big cities, it's really a family-centered culture. There are not lots of deaths. My father was once in Paris, if I'm not wrong. He said that the amounts of pickpocketing and theft in Paris was through the roof. So in comparison, my city is totally safe, and you see, I can even maybe walk in middle of the night in most neighborhoods with no problem. But of course, there are some neighborhoods which are not safe. I think that's something that it's like every other country. So these few days you ain't posting on TikTok a lot, seems you have been consumed by work in it. No, my friend, that's not that way. My main problem with content production in TikTok is that my account grew really fast. So it has slowed down recently, which is a good thing for me right now because I need to rest. But when it grew up so fast, right now I'm getting thousands of notifications per day, and I'm trying to answer every comment. So that made things hard for me, and it's really hard for me to keep up right now. But I'm figuring things out, because also remember that I cannot gain any money from TikTok because TikTok disabled that feature for Iranians, but I can do that on YouTube. So when I came to YouTube, that got a bit of my focus, and I'm working a full-time job right now. So combination of those things, it's really hard to keep up the same pace that I had before. But I'm posting, I think, every 2 or 3 days, and I'm trying to be consistent. So that I answered about how safe Iran is. Iran is completely safe, my friends, even during the war. But regarding to pickpocketing and these things, most neighborhoods are completely safe. There are some neighborhoods that are not safe enough. So in Germany, I think he means Iranian girls who say they're still unknown where the dead women in Iran are. So I don't really know what incidents. If you be more specific, I think I can answer. So is Kermanshah safe as a traveler? Can I walk around without any problem? My friend, I'm in Kermanshah, and I'm walking around and with my wallet in my hand and my smartphone in my hand also. So people are walking around me. I'm in middle of a boulevard. People are staying. People are chilling out. So yes, my friend, it's completely safe. Don't worry. It depends on which neighborhood you are going. If you came here, I told you, just send me a DM in TikTok right now. I'm gonna give you my number. Let's chat. We will, manage things out. Don't worry. Okay. Yes. Okay. Are you not going to Ali Said Khamenei funeral? Shuaib, how are you, my friend? Yes, I told the other person, I answered the question. Unfortunately, I can't go there, but almost every member in my family are going there. So I really wanted to go, but unfortunately I can't. Everything here is unfortunately genetically modified. Even my cucumber I ate today is plastic. Yes, one of the big problems in the West is that, and in Iran we produce everything. So we almost don't import, especially anything food-wise. So and because Iran is a vast country, we have different climates, different weather, and different temperatures. So we have, in Iran, we grow bananas with coconut, what do you call it? Those kinds of fruits and vegetables which are for warm places. And at the same time, we have apples, oranges, I don't know, everything. If I go to a fruit shop in Iran, I can almost buy anything, especially the big ones, because and we are a 4-season country, so we have every 4 season during the whole year, every time. So for example, if I choose to go to a place which has a snow and I go to a ski, I can do it. I can go to Ardabil, for example. I can go to Tochan, and those places, they have snow on the ground. If I choose to go to a beach right now, I can go to north or south of Iran, and I can experience the warm beach weather. So because it's a vast country, the food and the fruits and the vegetables, we have a great diversity, and we don't have to buy from big giant corporates which only see their foods, only see their profits. So most of the farms in Iran are managed by locals. So there are not that much large corporations controlling food in Iran. That's why I think we have a much better quality in food and farm and vegetables, meat and everything in Iran. Of course there are some problems with that, and of course that's why we've been sanctioned for tens of for decades, and we had to do that for ourselves, which is why with closing the Strait of Hormuz we almost can sanction the whole world. Okay, so correct, we are told Americans are abducted all the time. Subhanallah, even coconut. Yes, Sarah, we have even coconut. I'm gonna go to a place which has more light. I hope the connection, we don't have problems with the connection. So, yes, because Iran is a vast country, you have everything. I've been learning about Middle Eastern culture and Islam more. I was unfortunately an adult when I learned my media is not honest. It's I think it's one of the biggest problems that the West has, is that their media, and maybe all mainstream media totally, they lost their audience's trust. So that's a really bad thing, and maybe in Iran same has happened too. People lost their trust in mainstream media because you should follow the money. They are not unbiased in any country, some of them less, some of them more, but in Western countries it's really much more, and it's really bad because you don't have many ways to understand and find the truth. So they don't want us to know how good Iran is to avoid mass immigration. I believe that in the near future people would migrate to Iran because, first of all, they understand the reality. Second, because Iran is a family-centered culture and people in Iran really care about the family. That and we have the Sharia law. For example, alcohol is banned. Lots of activities that is not suitable for families are banned. Because of those things, I think people in the whole world, some people prefer that culture, and that's what preserves the family. So if you are a family guy, not the the animation, but if you are a guy that cares about the family and avoids some nasty things, Iran is, I think, the best country that you can be in. So the wave of migration would start to Iran, and which is started right now. The only problem is the war and the situation that is not settled yet. So would you love to taste the fresh, healthy food of Iran? I've been to 3 countries, Iraq, Oman and Dubai. I think maybe the worst food, which they have McDonald's and these things, was in Oman. Excuse me, no, Oman was not that bad because we have Afghans that Afghanians are, their food is amazing. But it was Dubai because they have lots of big corporations there, and I don't have a good, experience from the food and fruits that I ate there. So I think ours is much better. But I cannot compare it with Netherlands. You should come here and try it for yourself. Maybe you find it different. So people give Iran such a hard time about headscarves. There are other countries that it is mandatory, yet no one in the West saying nothing because the US are okay. Krista, you know, I'm gonna tell you something about headscarves. First of all, it's the mandatory hijab in Iran is a rule, which I support. But you know, it's not the problem. The main problem is that why don't people compare, you know, the amount of educated women, the amount of women that went to colleges, the amount of women that, you know, went to universities in Iran, okay? So they are just looking for the, you know, face and the head, or, you know, come on, it's, you should care about the mind, okay? We have women right now. Our Minister of Constructions and Roads is a woman. The dean in the university that I study in is woman. You know, women are in top, you know, even governmental jobs and positions. So also, you know, the more than 50% of university students are women. So if you see, there is no headscarves in, you know, heads of some women, although it's a rule and I support it, but you know, some people don't obey the rule and nothing happens to them. But I think the most important issue is to see that if women are oppressed, why they are in top governmental positions. If they are oppressed, why more than 50% of university students are women. So that's the important thing, not if they are, you know, showing their body parts or these things. So seriously, it's starting to feel like everywhere is doing better than we are. My friend, you know, I really don't know, but I believe, at least I feel this way, that I'm in the best country and in the best city of the whole world. Although I know there are lots of problems with my country and my city, but when I add up everything and as a package, I feel that I'm in the best city in the world. Right now, we are in the middle of the summer. You know, we have great weather, we have great, you know, people, we have great food. Yes, we have great inflation too, lots of inflation. But, you know, it's something that we are, you know, managing. It's not a good thing. We demand our government to provide a better, you know, economic situation. But I believe that if you compare for example, calories that we consume, we have free healthcare, we have free education system. You know, the traveling cost in Iran is really cheap. The fuel cost is like nothing in Iran, even compared to our minimum wage in Iran. So we have lots of pros that many people don't want to see. There's no problem. I can see them, I can use them, and I can live with them. So it is what it is. So is Quran being recited in the background? Yes, it was Quran, my friend. It was Azan. So it's the prayer time in Iran. West sanctioned Iran for 47 years, and Iran sanctions West in yes, panicking and begging. Of course, my friend, you know, the Strait of Hormuz was a tool that Iran had for 50 years, but we never used it because, you know, we are we have dignity. But the moment that, you know, and Iran said that if pressure on US, I think I'm back now. So Krista, women want to wear the headscarves by heart, not being able to do so is limiting the freedom of religion expression, which is happening now in the West. I agree, you know, some people in Iran don't want to wear headscarves. That's true, nobody can deny that, but it's a rule, and some people do not obey the rule and nothing happens to them. You know, as I told you, because Iran is a family-centered culture, everything that is done is because is to preserve culture. If there are women in the live right now, okay, so I'm asking you, and you should answer honestly. I insist to answer honestly. If, for example, your husband goes to a workplace that women there do not wear anything and wear inappropriate clothes, or if they wear, you know, it's so. I don't know if you heard me or not, but if your husband, if your woman in the live, answer me. If your husband goes to a workspace or workplace, which in there women do not dress appropriately and they, you know, they are half nude, do you prefer your husband go there or go to a place with which, you know, women are wearing hijab? I think every woman says hijab. I don't know, maybe some people say that half nude is better. So through it so strong, they don't need the world to survive. We are dependent on everything. Yes, you know, one of the problems of the globalism is that your countries are dependent on lots of other countries. So if anything happens, if a war starts, like right now, if somebody wants to sanction you, if a place, for example, if a powerful country decides for oil to go up, all of you have to obey and all of you would suffer. So being self-sufficient is really important, which, you know, the man that we are mourning these days, he was the one that made Iran the way it is right now. He was the one who was insisting on becoming self-sufficient and becoming a high-tech country, Iran. Because, okay guys, I think I lost you again, but it's predicted that in 5 to 10 years nobody can sanction Iran anymore because we will be self-sufficient in any aspect. Are you going to the funeral ceremony? No, my friend. Unfortunately, it's you're the fourth person that I'm answering this to. Unfortunately I can't go, but every member of my family are going, and I'm really sad that I can't go. I cannot go there. The hijab and burqas have been taught to Western as oppressive clothing force. First of all, I showed you, my friend. You can go right now. I don't know if you can see or not, but those people that are sitting there, they are girls that they do not wear anything. Okay, so and nothing happens to them. What do you study and which university you attend? Shuaib, I'm a PhD student in Science and Research Brand University of Tehran, Azad University. So inflation is worldwide. Yes, free healthcare. Yes, we have free healthcare. In UK we have had. Oh guys, I'm gonna try to keep up with the messages. In UK we have had many food products and consumer products increasing in price. 100 to even 300%. That's we you know, we have the same here. I prefer Iran than my own country. Let's focus on people, not any political biases. Internet issue, I don't know what to do about the internet issue. I'm probably not the best person to ask. My husband has a bouncer at a naked bar. Come on. I expected my husband to respect me and them. As far as I know, he did. The girls never complained about that. That's good, you know. What can I say? But that was really interesting. Country have the right to interfere in internal affairs by my country. Nigeria is rich resource but bad government and corruption, but the West didn't interfere because of their selfish gain. So why? My friend, you know, I believe that every country should be sovereign and nobody else should come and, you know, interfere. It's normal here to be so-called work wife. They cheat at work. No one says anything. It's the opposite word. Yes, that's really bad. You know, it's why hijab is important. Oh no, work wife is not a thing. And I never had a work husband. I think that is disrespectful for my marriage. I just respect other people's beliefs. So late Ayatollah was truly a great man. To God he belong, and him we shall return, inshallah, my friend. So guys, you know, I've passed the threshold for 10 minutes. I'm gonna read the last 3 or 4 comments, and then I should go, my friends. I totally understand what you are saying about if your man works with women not properly dressed, but for here that is normal. We think men can control their minds, but it's not the case. I believe that it's really hard for men to control. He was a great man, so much honor for his faith, country and wife. I was in shock to learn about his passing. Yes, we were all in shock. Very soon it will be Dr. Mohsen Johari. Come on, it's, I didn't want to say it anyway. Have a good night. See you next week, inshallah, my friends. So I'm trying to be live every week at 19 or 7 p.m. Tehran time. This day, exactly at the same time. So if you're joining right now, my friends, I should go, but I would do the same thing every week. So, bye.